So, yeah, still bored, so let's do it. Let's hope my ISP is not going to do the same thing as last time. And I'm afraid nobody's given any actually actionable community puzzle suggestions, so we're going to have to go with one of mine. Anyone around? Oh, people already commenting. Oh, right, I'm streaming Bloom. How about I actually gave you my screen? How's that? Ooh. Yeah, blue's a nice color, isn't it? So let's go and check out what I had around. Yeah, well, I think the best one for now would be. Yeah, get lost. So, the one I had in mind for some time is an extension on a puzzle somebody already submitted, well, quite a few months ago already, in the community queue, but was not able to complete it because it was flawed, so I'm gonna leave him the chance to actually implement it to the end. But in the meantime, easier versions of it are possible, so that's what we're gonna try and do tonight. So, how are you gonna go about this? No, nobody cares about that. So some kind of an agenda. Define a puzzle. We're gonna so find idea and stuff. We're gonna implement a solution. We're gonna write test and validation cases. We're gonna assess the difficulty of it. And yeah, well, that's the kind of thing we're gonna go around. So the kind of puzzle I had around in mind for now, my temporary work title is Goro Want Chocolate, so I hope everybody knows Goro. The gist of it is gonna be this very simple question. How many squares can we chop out of a rectangle? So I suppose we could start by, we could write the text right now for this. So how are we gonna say this? Goro hungry. Goro wants chocolate. Goro picky. Goro only like chocolate in shape of a square. The square. You smart. You help Goro find out how. So let's talk about it for some time. Let's say we got some kind of a rectangle like this. Yay. Okay, now is not the time for you fucking idiocy. So we've got some kind of rectangle like this. And we're gonna try to find out how many square pieces we can make out of it. So for example, let's say we can dig a big square around here. Let's pretend that's a square. And then we got a square to the left and a big rectangle area to the right. So we're gonna extract the square out of that. So now we got two square, like square 1 here and square 2 here. And we've still got this area around here that we're gonna try and make squares out of. So we got a third one here, a fourth one here, a fifth one here, and so on, 6, and I'm lucky it followed up, right. So for example, this way we can make 7 squares out of it. And well, obviously we could cut the grid in 1 by 1 squares, so that would not be very interesting. The more interesting question is what's the minimum number of squares we can make. So let's put that in the story. So Goro like chocolate and chip of a square. Goro like big square better than more little square. Find out best way to, let's say, chop chocolate rectangle. You have found best way to chop chocolate rectangle. So that yeah, well, to be strict, we're gonna have to formulate that with the minimum. So let's say so that yeah, we're out of faulty English. We're gonna correct that later. So that as few squares as possible are formed with no waste. So that's rigorous enough. It's not totally in the spirit, but we'll get to it later. So that's the big idea. If anybody's got questions now, well, now's a good time. If anybody's got a better idea, we're still open. So let's go and how are you gonna say this? I'm gonna open up the contribution so people can see evolve. So I'm gonna quickly put some well, like that, for example. Tags, yeah, maybe later. Chocolate. Difficulty is easy by default. None of that for now. None of that for now. None of that for now. Test cases are just all answer 0. So this seems ridiculous, but I think the CG interface will not let me publish if it's not functional and passes tests. So, well, here's something interesting. That might be enough. Oh, I'm gonna put a big like that. Oh, come on. Yeah, great. Okay, let me add a comment. Okay, so now everybody can take a look. It's in, well, I suppose it's in the contribution list here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, let's go ahead on this. We're gonna want to solve it. So the obvious way to do that would be some kind of a divide and conquer. Do I need this? We'll see later. So, well, let's start with the simple way to make sure everything makes sense. So, let's say we want to solve this for a certain width and height. What is the answer? We've got the base cases. So first let's normalize. We're going to want the height minimal. So if the height is bigger than the width, we swap. And then we're gonna... Oh, it's more intuitive this way. No, is it? I want minimal height, so I can have this case. Is that gonna work? I want... No, it's the opposite. Okay, so we've got a base case. And let's write the more interesting one. So how much is it if we got more than one? We're gonna split it vertically. And I suppose that's good enough. We don't need a split horizontally, or do we? We'll see that later. Let's do it vertically first. So it's gonna be the minimum of solve H and the chopped weight, where the chop... No, it's gonna be the sum of C in the left and W minus C to the right. No zero, that really makes sense, and we probably only need to go until half of it. No worry about rounding, so W div 2. How's that? So that one makes sense. This one does not, because I forgot the interesting case. Why does this one not? 2 should be already a square, so we still need a case. Something like that. 1 gives 1, 2 gives 1, that's still good, and 2 1 I expect 2 it is. Whoa, that's not good. And 1 2 gives 2, so for now we're good. Let's start and do the more interesting one. 3 2 3, yeah, 2 2 on the left, 1 1. That seems okay. And 3 6 2, yeah, 2 squares, we're good. 3 5 4, how would that one look? I'm not quite sure how this one would look. 3, 5. So 3, 5. Let's yeah. Looks like this. Yeah, so we would have something like that, which kind of makes sense, yeah. Four. Yeah, well, seems good to me for now. And let's try 4, 5. 5. Seems reasonable enough. Since this case would look something like B, C, D, E. Up to now, that's okay. I would, to be sure I'm not doing anything stupid, need, right now I'm only splitting, well, horizontally, because obviously you can transpose. The thing is, can I be sure the minimal split is not going to be the other way? And for now, I actually do not think I can. So let's do both. I'm not exactly sure how needed it is, but let's check we get the same result. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, well, 4, 5, 5, yeah, 6, reasonable, 6, 3, yeah, both the same, at least now I'm more confident it's actually the right solution. One day I'm not that tired, I'll check whether or not it's needed, but for now that's good enough. Okay, now let's try something more interesting. Well, not 10, but till 11. Yeah, it's getting slow as hell, which is completely obvious it would happen because we've got a Fibonacci-like double recursion here. So this is slow, so we're gonna put some dynamic programming in. And am I gonna go top down or bottom up? Let's think about it for some time. Or so this, why am I in Haskell? That's gonna be a pain. Let's go at this. Oh, I got an answer, and it's 6. How would that go? 6 for 10, 11. Six, huh? Well, not sure. We'll see later anyway. So, how... yeah, let's memorize this. I'm gonna go the completely lazy way and put them in a map because it's only gonna end up as a medium puzzle anyway. We don't want to have too much performance requirement for that sort of things. So let's transform this into a memorized version of itself. So it's gonna be enough. So that we keep, and here let's merge those two cases. There we go. And solve HW equals, yeah, so it's gonna end up as a run state, so I'll just put run identity for now, just put it into monad notation. If you're not a Haskelller, you don't care about that. And we're gonna have a go function. We're best end of line. I'll fix this later. No, that's wrong too. No, I'll go later. So go prime is this, and go HW is where I'm gonna do my stateful stuff. So I've been out of touch so long. Right now we're just gonna go back to this one. How does this compile? This doesn't make sense. It should not compile. That still work? No, I probably got an infinite loop somewhere. Of course you got an infinite loop. This should be go prime. Ah, that's better. Okay, so this should be a monad. Let's make it 1. And this goes over those in sequence. Is that full demo one? I never remember. Come on. Nah, that's not the one. I'm just gonna sequence and lift. Okay, so it compiles, so it's still correct in some way. Seems good. This is the worst indent you can get. And now let's actually do some dynamic programming over it. So we're gonna do an eval state of that instead. And actually use the state. So do we have it? How are we gonna do that? It's a get. So get and look up HW, which is the key in the get. So let's call that R for result. If we got nothing, and that's not interesting. If we got a value, then we got it. Just do that. If not, V is the recursion. Not modify. So we're gonna insert it. Insert HW V into it, and return v. So that's just mostly standard dynamic programming. Why would you need that? Let's try with that. Okay, if you want it, I'm fine with that. Ah, that's more interesting. Well, let's write them down. So int to map of int to int. That's good enough. How about C? Oh, V. Oh, sure. That's not an addition. I'm gonna have to lift it. That should have been an error minutes ago. Not sure what it went through. Yeah, of course. Okay, still the same results. And now it's fast. How fast is it? Yeah, this might not make it on coding game, but we'll try it out. Okay, so now we've got something functional that we might actually keep. We'll see if we make something better out of it later. So where are we in the plan? Implement solution. Okay, so we got one. We got a functional one. So Haskell dp plus map. That's gonna be our reference case for now. Test and validation cases. Well, let's write some. Let's think about our input format. For now, what would something reasonable be? Well, let's just say input description. So line 1, H, and W. Dimensions of the chocolate. Space separated. And that's it, actually. So it's not a even line 1, it's a single line. Output description. Let's call it N. There. And constraints, we'll put some later. So let's save it for now. And write some. So what are the interesting cases? Oh, there's one thing we should probably do before we get there, and we should check if it's not a known sequence on OEIS. So we need to make a sequence out of it, but we've kind of got a smart format for that already. So we'd want the list of we'd want to make a staircase out of it, so we'd want the HW pairs, where W is, no, H is always smaller, so blah blah blah, something here, so H goes 1 to infinity, and W loops, and each times goes from 1 to H. Something like that. That's like W infinite, isn't it? What? Oh, that's not right. That good? Yeah, that's good. So take 5 map of that. Okay, we're good. So now, well, let's concatenate it. Yeah, and solve for that. And see if it's something to be worried about. Ooh, did I break my internet again? Yeah, it exists. So it's gonna be possible to cheat. If people are able to find it this way, I'll give them credit. The good point is there's no formula anyway, so they're still gonna have to calculate it. But at least it comforts me in the opinion I did not mess up the calculation, which is actually a good opportunity to see if it works the same if I remove that. It does not appear to work, so okay, we'll keep it. Well, yeah, that's good news enough. So let's actually write some cases. How are we going to do this? This is going to end up as a medium puzzle, so I'd want it to be solvable in a reasonable time by most any language. So I'll keep my interpreted Haskell and I time it, so I'm gonna copy and paste that one. Let's write a main around it. Let's also see if I still need this. I don't. It's better without. I don't need this either. So main is gonna be well, show .uncurry solve. Uncurry, no, that's not gonna work either. I'm gonna do it the other way. I'm gonna wrap wrap solve, read words there, and wrap f of a list of HW. No need for curry here. There we go. I have one of those around. So, row, well, 1, 1, huh? Yeah, what do we time this? Yeah, well, okay. My computer's kind of slow because I'm streaming. Let's try this directly on CG. That's as good a place as anywhere else. And yeah, well, I suppose I should have only tested in IDE. There. What kind of test cases would be interesting? That's going to be a more interesting one. Yeah, I'm going to have to generate them anyway. How are we going to do about this? I think I'm going to just... generate random cases and time them. Because those are the easy cases, but there are bigger ones. Yeah, so let's do that. Anyway, the way we constructed, we're only summing ones. So I suppose the worst cases... Nah, we need it. We're doing the minimum anyway. There's no obvious worst case to me, at least. If you find one, you're very welcome to tell me about it. So let's see on the current game interface how long this takes. Does it time out or not? It does not. Let's go bigger. And this does. Let's see in the middle. Does too. This might not be too interesting. Okay, and that's in compiled Haskell, so I'm gonna have to drop even smaller for the scripting languages. I'm gonna have to write a separate implementation. Okay, well, fine. That's good enough. Yeah, I'm trying to weasel my way out of doing it by hand. So, okay, let's say the maximum is 150, 175. That's a lot of cases, but we can still do them here. Let's take that one again. So we're going up to 175, and this one up to min of HN50. So that still works. Cool. What I was actually trying to do was just count them for now. That's gonna take a fair amount of time if I actually... Oh, but I can compile and do it. Let's try that. So that's gonna be a lot of cases, but hey, why not? Let's compile. That's still long. Might be okay for coding game, but it's still pretty long. Well, then again, that's not the exact same case I did. CSV legend stream, no way. Maybe some other day. Is it stable? Yeah, it's always around 2 seconds at that order of magnitude. So yeah, scripting languages are definitely not gonna reach that. We're gonna have to make it easy for them. Unless a better implementation exists, but I'm too tired to find one, so for now it's gonna be TP. I still haven't found a way to weasel out of doing them. And in a way, I'm not quite sure I want to do them until I got a working implementation in some scripting language. So, well, maybe we'll start with that. Let's do that. Let's write a pro one. Whatever version we're in now. If, so how was it? H. Return solve, so the other way, WH. If H is 1, return 1. If H is W, return 1 as well. I should have merged those. Oh, no matter. Why does it not align? Because it's not the right separator. And if not, just, yeah, well, here we go. My min equals some big number, like say W times H. So let's go from 1 to W divided by 2. I'll never remember if this is needed or not, so I'll put it in. So we call solve HC plus solve of H W minus C. So that's gonna be R, and well, min equals R if R is less than min, something like that. And then the other way around, as we already did. So W here and H, this is supposed to be H here. Okay, so I suppose we can try it out like this. So 1's okay. 2's no, 2's not okay. Ouch. What did I miss? This is wrong. This is W. Here we go. So this is good. 2, 1, we're good. 3, 4, good enough. 3, 5, same as before. 3, 6, there we go. And 10, 11, I suppose we time out here. I should have timed it. It's gonna take some time. We're gonna let him do 13 seconds. Well, that's gonna time out on coding game no matter what, but it still did work. And now let's do the magic. I hope this works this way. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got a Perl solution, and let's do the bigger cases, like 175, 151. Yeah, that's not actually a problem. It's like this. Well, it works anyway. A bit long, it's gonna time out, but it still works. Okay, so that's gonna be the reference implementation for as far as timings go, because Haskell's gonna be too fast here. So let's make it an actual program that we can run on coding game. So my HW equals like something like that. Okay, this works. So let's do this. This is gonna be, for now, the reference implementation in Perl this time. Yeah, readable enough. And now let's write some test cases. Well, when I say test cases, what I really mean is we should actually time it in Perl. That's not gonna work. On the actual platform. So I suppose this one fails now. What do you know? It works. Well, good enough. So let's put some kind of a constraint here. We're gonna say it 1. Where's that symbol? let's put it this way for the constraint. 150, yeah, well, we'll see. If Python's too slow, they're gonna come complaining, and we'll set it down a bit. So that ought to be some kind of a hard case. Now let's actually try sum and compare. So let's put it within bounds. Well, obviously we're not gonna put the same here. I should probably time this on CG, so 5 seconds and a bit. Stable enough. And how about 148, 149? Then I'm gonna try twice. Is slightly easier. Yeah, well, not by much, but that's good enough. So let's make the easier one the validator. Answer is 14, right? No, 13. And 150, 149, answer is 14, so that's gonna be the hard one. Test 4, yeah, coding game standards say put something intelligent here, but then again, we're only having bigger numbers. So, inspiration, come to me. Nah, it's not there. I'll put something else later. So that's been the hard one. For the first one, we're gonna put something interesting enough. Like, for example, was 3 by 5 interesting? How is this one? Yeah, I suppose that's interesting enough. Let's put this one as an example. And we'll make some ASCII art later. So 3, 5, answer is, what was it? Answer was 4. I'm gonna actually make this one the same case for test 1 only. And for test 2, we wanna progress. Well, we'll put a fairly eccentric one. Something like, let's put primes. Primes are better. 51 by 13, was that give 10? Something slightly easier, 47 by 13, or maybe by 11. That gives the same result. Now let's have a bigger square, around 100. What's a prime around there? I suppose 97 is. Or just 101 and 97. So this is getting slower, but it's probably still reasonable. And value 3, well, an easier one, so 97 and 93. For 11, oh, interesting. Okay, so this might actually be submittable. Let's see what it gives. Oh, come on. is it? Well, if you say so. Okay, so let's try it out in the actual version that anybody can see. Well, I suppose if I try it with my Perl, of course it's gonna work, but of course it's never an appropriate way to think, so let's test before anything, and then I'll test the Haskell too. It worked, yay, what a surprise. It works too. Great. So where are we in the plan? So we've got a Haskell solution to do. We've got a Perl solution that's Haskell conversion. We've got the test and validation cases. We've timed them, and we go up to around 175 times 150. So we've limited the puzzle to 150 by 150. Difficulty, yeah, I'm gonna edit this in again. So I'm gonna probably put it in medium because it's dynamic programming, and there's never been any dynamic programming in easy. Even if it's rather easy dynamic programming here. So let's edit that again. So we might actually put this around. Difficulty, let's hold for medium for now. And we're gonna need to read that statement text again and make something interesting. So those of you who are still not sleeping in the chat can tell me if you think Goro is a known enough figure, or if I should detail that a bit more. Yeah, so of course this is obviously non-English. So I'm gonna put a big horizontal bar in the middle and put an actual specification underneath, else there are gonna be too many complaints. And it's not that hard, let's do it. So Goro hungry, Goro want chocolate. Goro picky, Goro only like chocolate in shape of a square. Goro like big square better than more little square. That's not good, because that more seems like it applies to little. So like Goro like few big square better than much little square. You smart, you help Goro find out, that's too English, find out best chocolate rectangle. So that so that bigger squares formed. No waste. There, so that's the bad English version, and let's put something better around. You are provided with Goro. Woohoo. I'm tired. Minimal number of squares it's possible to chop out of it with no leftovers allowed. Among those available, let's pretend it's something totally serious and put like a bullet pointer around here. Picks. Those available. What's the karate name for breaking stuff? Right. Break. Is there no Wikipedia? Yeah, that's the thing I want. I'm looking for the yell. Oh, there's no yell. Scream, no scream. Well, okay, let's improvise. So Goro doesn't yell, he grunts. Dashes, throws, expels, gets down. Slashes, that's the one I wanted. Fourthly, slashes. On well, actually, that's enough. So let's still have a reference that he's got. So with his upper right arm, that's the funny part. That's the actual important information we're always going with an operation from one rectangle to two rectangles, which can be squares, but nothing else. That's actually the difference that makes this puzzle easy compared to the one that was submitted a few months ago. Chocolate rectangle can only be split along its major axes, horizontal and vertical. What is that? Yeah. It's a major axis. On integral. How should I say this? There's no fraction involved. It's only possible to split on the integral stuff. I'm completely out of words here. Yet I have to put it because it's actually a pretty important part of the puzzle. Then again, do I need to actually, since the rectangle has necessarily integral dimensions, the only feasible answers are integral. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Yeah, I think they are. We'll see if someone complains. That's why we have moderation. Along the lines there. Already along. Okay. Well, that more or less settles it. Let's see if it's readable enough. Ooh, that's ugly. Why is that ugly? I'm gonna fix that. The text is readable. The minimum number of squares would be better put along. We can chop that with no waste. Let's put some humor in here. Well, okay. Oh yes, I still need a bit of ASCII art. What are those ASCII line drawing? Yeah, so already that's the one I wanted. I suppose let's check. That's better. So let's spell out the example now. So 3 by 5. 3 by 5, that's... Can we edit this one? So that would be the 3 and 2, and only those would have 1. And there would only be 3 of them. So that's kind of too much. That's a bit better. The 2 should probably go here and be kind of, well, we actually want to get rid of almost all of that. Something like that. 3, 2, that's still too wide. We'll take care of it later. Yeah, that almost looks reasonable. Let's here. Those when you have pluses, I'm gonna get rid of org mode for this actually. Let's do this elsewhere. Okay. So that's still 1 to 1. No, not here, here. Okay, this almost looks good. Except that's not it at all. The solution is 4. Am I tired or what? Yeah. So let's get rid of those again. One. There we go. That's almost acceptable. And let's put actual line drawing inside. So we'd want this one in place of minus. Whoop. We'd want this one in place of pi. And here we go for the corners. Corner 1, well, half corner, where is it? It's here. And a corner here. This one is again here. And that's all. The right one is here. Left one here. They're both single. The top one is top one here. Bottom left here, and bottom right here, and Okay, let's put that in. Oh, that one is too much to the left. And is that it? Yeah, looks good. Okay, well, if that's good for everyone, that's probably gonna be enough for now. Yeah, example is not enough. I've got to actually explain the example. Well, let's put 4 square pieces of sides 3, 2, 1, and 1 again. Let's colorify that. Okay, well, if nobody's got any more comments, I think that's gonna be enough. Let's just remove the stream here. Let's update the comment to something. What's the date? More like 27th. Well, live coding, yeah, let's just say streaming. Okay. Submitting. Now I hope at least a few of you are going to be able to validate it, or I'm not quite sure what I've been doing here. If there's any comment, now's a good time. If there's any comparison of whether this microphone is better than the one I used last time, I'd appreciate feedback about that too. And if there's no more comments, well, we'll just call it the end. I'll give you a few minutes. Yeah, no, there's not gonna be a CSV legend stream. It's simple to understand, yet I'm only reading this now, so I'm not quite sure what you're alluding to. I'm sorry. Well, okay, no more comments, so I'm gonna close the stream here, and if you got any comments about the puzzle, you can put them in the puzzles contribution page. That's what they're here for. And if you've got any comments about the stream, the forum would be the better place to do it. Well, good night all.